So a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the volume of a cylinder, and that's going to be where we're going to start off today. Because the thing we're talking about today is actually connected to a cylinder. It's very similar formula. You just have one extra step for what we're talking about today. Okay. So volume of a cylinder, we had a special formula for a cylinder is volume equals pi radius squared h. Okay. Radius is the length from the middle of the circle to the edge, and the h is the height of the cylinder. So in this example, my radius is 4 meters. My height is 6 meters. And all we're going to do, if you remember, is plug these numbers where they go in the formula. So the volume of the cylinder is pi r squared h. Now PEMDAS, because these are all numbers, pi, 4, and 6 are all numbers, exponents before multiplication. 4 squared is 16. And my last step is to multiply the numbers. You could do this in 2 steps, but if you do it in 1, you're going to get the same answer. Pi times 16 times 6. And we get the volume of the cylinder as 301.44. Meters was my original units, so cubic meters is my final units for the volume of this cylinder. Okay, everyone remember that? Everyone okay with that process? Okay, that's a review. All right, so today we're talking about cones. So cones are like ice cream cones or funnels or cones on the side of the road or really anything that's cone shaped. I don't have anything that's cone shaped or else I would have brought out an example. But we should at this point hopefully know what a cone looks like, okay? And a cone is connected to the size of a cylinder. So if I have a cone, I'm going to attempt to draw a picture, okay? It's a 3-dimensional shape, looks something like that. The volume formula for a cone is actually the same formula as a cylinder, the one that we just went over, except for at the end you divide it by 3. So you're going to find the volume like we just did, but then divide by 3 to end. So let's put the same exact measures as we had in the last example. 4 meters and 6 meters for how tall the cone is. Okay, super big cone here. My radius is the length from the middle to the edge of the circle, so 4 meters. My height is how tall it is, that's 6 meters. Those are the only 2 numbers we need. So our volume, we plug numbers in where they go. Oops, not h, we have h, 6. Okay, and then like I said, the last step is just going to be to divide by 3. So we're going to solve this top part first, then divide by 3. We technically already know this number, but as a review, I'm going to do it again. I do the square for the multiplication. I do all that multiplication out with the same number that we're going to get from last time. That big number, 301.44. There's our volume of a cylinder, okay? But remember, our last step is going to be divided by 3. So we're going to divide the number we got by 3 to get our volume of this cone. Units, just like normal. We have meters, so our final units are going to be cubic meters. So it's exactly the same as finding the volume of a cylinder. Same formula, except for at the end, we divide by 3 because 3 cones fit into a cylinder of the same height and radius, okay? All right, we're going to go over 2 more problems, okay? And then I'll answer any questions that you guys might have. Okay, so let's say we got a cone. Okay, there's my cone. I'm going to draw my numbers in black this time so it's a little easier to see. Let's give this cone a radius of 5 centimeters, it's not very big, and a height of 12 centimeters. So again, we have our formula, okay? Oh my gosh. Pi r squared h over 3, okay? We got a radius of 5 centimeters here. We've got a height of 12 centimeters here, and we plug them in. Hold on one second. All right, so we've got pi r squared h divided by 3. PEMDAS, we got to do exponents first. So we've got pi, 5 squared is 25. Now we multiply all the numbers. So we've got pi, times 25 times 12. So we get 942 in the top. My last step is divide by that 3 as our last step in the formula to get 314 centimeters was my original units. So cubic centimeters are my final units. Any questions, guys, so far? All right, one more then.
Miss, I have a question.
Yes.
You know how you write cubic meters at the bottom?
Yep.
Can I just put a M and then a 3?
You have to put a caret before the 3. That's the number. That's the symbol attached to the 6 on your keyboard.
What the flip is that?
So look at your keyboard. See the numbers at the top, where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 0. See the 6 button? It has like an arrow pointing up.
Oh yeah, the TP.
Yep. So what you're gonna do if you want to do that is you would write M and then that symbol and then 3.
That's annoying.
Either way is fine. I just didn't want you guys to have to worry about typing that because it's a symbol we haven't worked with.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. So last example we're going to run through on how to find the volume of a cone. I'm going to make my radius here 11 miles. We're going to make this a huge cone. And I'm going to make the height of it 14 miles. Okay. This is like some Stonehenge stuff. Huge, huge, huge. Okay. Or like a pyramid, but not a pyramid, a cone. So again, we got our formula. Same as a cylinder, but we divide by 3. Okay. Radius here is 11 miles. Height, 14 miles. Let's calculate. So you've got RH. We're going to plug it into our formula. V equals pi r squared h divided by 3. 11 squared is 121, if you didn't know that. There we go. That's how we get it. 11 times 11. So we've got pi times 121 times 14. At the end, we divide by 3. Multiply all the numbers in the top. Pi times 121 times height, which is 14. We get a big number. 5319.16 divided by 3. And our last step, divide that into 3 pieces. We get a big number, but smaller than if it was a cylinder. I'm going to round this to 0.05 because the number after the 5 is a 3, so we keep it. So this would be cubic miles. Or, as Lonnie just asked, miles caret 3. That's another way of doing miles cubed.